Okay, so not the most exciting review today, guys. 0-0. I can't remember the last time it was 0-0 in an Arsenal game. I genuinely think it was probably months ago. It's a little bit disappointing that we weren't able to beat Sporting tonight, but we have progressed through to the knockout stages. So it is official. We are through, down to the other results. Karabag won 1-0, I think it was. So we're through. We're into the knockout stages. And we've done it before the end of our group, which is great. It means the next game we can relax a little bit more, and it's all good. We're looking good. We've still got the unbeaten run intact. And Sporting, I think they came to the Emirates today knowing that it was going to be a tough game for them, and they sat back. They defended very well indeed. And I would say a draw was probably a fair result in the end. I didn't think they looked particularly dangerous on the break. We looked quite comfortable on the ball. Defensively, we looked good. Thought holding was excellent once again today. But going forward, we certainly lacked our usual, specifically second half, our usual second half powers that we've had, where we've just been able to roll teams over. The first half wasn't great, and equally the second half wasn't great. It just wasn't a great performance from us today. And it's not the first time in this unbeaten run where we've not been at our best. But ultimately it doesn't matter, because we've made it through. There's no need to overexert, I guess, in the next few games in the Europa League because we're already through. That is definitely an added bonus. But there is one huge bit of sad news, unfortunately, and it's Danny Welbeck, who I think has actually been one of our most underrated players so far this season. Every time he's played, he's looked really good. He had to be substituted in the first half. It looks like he's potentially broken his ankle. I wouldn't recommend you take a look at the images. It's quite gruesome. If you've got a weak stomach, I definitely wouldn't look at it. I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, if it's not broken, I'll be very, very surprised. It was not facing the right direction. So I feel awful about it. It's kind of ruined what should have been a bit of a celebration, the fact that we have gone through. But let's be realistic. It's just the Europa League. Let's not get too excited, eh? You know what I'm like, guys? I love Arsenal through and through, and this is definitely a great night because we've done it early, but it's been tainted by a terrible bit of luck. Danny Welbeck is a very injury-prone player. We already knew this. He's just coming into some good form this year. I think Emery really sees a lot in him. He's trusted him a lot in the Europa League and whenever he's come on in the Premier League, and he's done a very good job. And then to get injured the way he did, it wasn't a bad tackle. It wasn't anything bad in terms of the Sporting players, but he's gone for a header and he's landed awkwardly and he's twisted his ankle. I should say I don't know the official statement yet. I don't know if it's actually a break, but as I said, the ankle quite literally wasn't an ankle anymore. It doesn't look great, so I think you're looking at probably 6 months minimum. It might be less than that. I'm no doctor, but it's really sad. So of course I'm sure everyone wishes the best to Danny Welbeck and a speedy recovery, because we will definitely miss him, especially in the Europa League. He has been very good for us. So what I want to do today, because the game itself was pretty awful, not much to talk about, there's no goals. The only thing I can talk about is the red card, I guess. Towards the end of the game there, Mathieu, ex-Barcelona, ex-Valencia, great player. He was having a fantastic evening, and he took out Aubameyang as the last man. I think maybe a yellow would have been fair. Unfortunately, though, even though he got sent off, we couldn't make it count. The resulting free kick, almost penalty, was pretty terrible by Aubameyang, who didn't play very well when he came on for Danny Welbeck, just saying. But we couldn't capitalise on them going down to 10 men. If anything, it made them defend even more. That was pretty much the only thing that happened in this game, unfortunately. So what I wanted to do today in this episode was to just review the team, do some ratings, and talk about individual performances. And it's just going to be a boring episode, I'm afraid. Maybe just put this on in the background. I'm sure a lot of you do watch it in the background and do something else. So we'll start off with the team selection. So we had Petr Cech in goal. Petr Cech, what more can I say? And then we had Jenkinson on the left. We had Lichtsteiner on the right. Sokratis and Holding as the centre-backs. And first of all, Petr Cech, I thought, had a pretty decent game. Didn't really have much to do, but his distribution was better today. There were times where he had to run out off his line and get to the ball before, get to the ball before one of the Sporting attackers got onto it. I think there was one occasion in the second half where he read it very well and the control he showed and the calmness just to roll it over on the right side to, I think it was Maitland-Niles who came on in the second half because Lichtsteiner got injured as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. I think that was one of Cech's best moments, and although it wasn't a busy game, he did his job. So I'd go with a 6 out of 10 for Petr Cech. Nothing special. Although I'm glad he's not injured anymore, I have enjoyed Leno being in goal for us, and I'm hoping that it's going to stay that way, especially in the Premier League. But of course, in the Europa League, if we're going to rotate, which I'm pretty sure we will, I would love to see Martinez get a go. I think Petr Cech is the better goalkeeper out of the two, between Martinez and Cech. But I would love to see Martinez get a go. At left back, we started the game. My mind's just gone blank. Jenkinson. Yeah, that's why it's gone blank, because he did nothing of note. The guy hasn't had enough game time in his career. Simple as that, really. He's never going to be good enough for Arsenal. And although I like the guy, his personality, the fact that he's Arsenal through and through, once again tonight, out of his depth, just didn't look comfortable on the ball. And of course, out of position. So you got to give it to him a little bit, a bit of credit, playing out of position. You know, he's right-footed, playing on the left. But just a poor player, really, for Arsenal's level. For the Europa League, he's even not good enough for that, I would say. So it was nice to see Kolasinac come on in the second half. Holding and Sokratis, not much to say, really. Both played very well. I think Sokratis looks a little bit rusty, having been out for a while. But Holding, once again, one of the better performances. Really enjoyed watching him play. So composed on the ball. And on the right, we had Lichtsteiner. Slow as a dinosaur. Slow as a turtle, I should say. Some dinosaurs were very quick, but certainly not Lichtsteiner. He's definitely lost his pace over the years, there's no doubt about it. But again, he had an okay game until he picked up an injury. Looks like he's pulled his hamstring, which is a couple of weeks out probably. So it's another injury for us to deal with. It's very frustrating. But I like what he brings to the team. You can see he's very commanding. He's a captain, really, isn't he? So I don't think he was too bad at all. But once again, we kind of see Lichtsteiner isn't at that level that we really need. And Bellerin is miles ahead right now, I would say. But I would have liked to see Lichtsteiner on the left instead of Jenkinson, maybe. I think if Lichtsteiner is going to get more game time, it will have to be over on that left side, because I don't think he will. If he can take Bellerin's place, then all power to him. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Now, the midfield two, we went with Ramsey and Guendouzi. Guendouzi was my man of the match. I thought he was incredible once again. I think it's incredible that he's only been at the club for so long now, for a couple of months. He looks like he's part of the squad. He's close to all the players. You can see he's got great chemistry with a lot of the French lads. And he had a very good game. Ramsey, he's not the same player. And I don't blame him for maybe not being... Not feeling like he's welcome almost. It's the weirdest thing. When you see a player in the news, you see they're leaving, you can tell. You can just see by the way they play, their reactions to losing the ball or scoring even. You can just see it in their eyes that they're obviously feeling a little bit unwanted. Ramsey isn't going to be the same player that we got multiple years ago when he had that one fantastic season. And he's never been able to recover that, which is a bit of a shame. I will miss him, but performances like tonight, very average, doesn't really add anything to the team when he's not playing well. And I don't think we're going to be missing him too much, if I'm honest. But he wasn't terrible. I haven't been doing ratings. So Jenkinson, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Holding, I'd give him a 7. Sokratis, I'd give him a 6. And Lichtsteiner, I'd give him a 5. And then Guendouzi, I'd give a 7.5. Just a bit better than Holding. And then Ramsey, I'd give a 5, maybe a 6 if I'm feeling generous. On the left, we had Iwobi. Wasn't his best game. He's been playing very well this season, though, so he's obviously going to have bad games. He's still not the complete player. We all know that, but he's definitely looking better this season. That's for sure. Tonight just wasn't one of those games. Probably give him a 6 out of 10 as well. On the right side, well, kind of on the right side, Mkhitaryan was playing there a little bit. My mind's gone blank again. Oh dear. I need to think. It's because the game was so boring. I actually switched off quite a lot. We obviously had Welbeck start the game. Until he got injured, I thought he was doing pretty okay. Smith Rowe, of course, that's the other player. So we had Mkhitaryan and Smith Rowe. It seems like they were swapping a lot. So Smith Rowe, I think, started on the right, but drifted in the middle and swapped with Mkhitaryan. I thought Smith Rowe again was very good tonight. It's a shame he couldn't really do more. I think that he needs to take these chances if he wants to get more game time in the Premier League, for example. But I'd give him a safe 6 as well. I thought he was very decent at times. You can see he's just a young, inexperienced player, but moments of magic where he picked up the ball, took on a player, maybe could have had a few goals tonight if he had a better shot. He hit the ball over the bar a couple of times. Mkhitaryan, I don't get him. He has those games where he's world class. Remember when he first joined and he got that game where he had 3 assists and he was unplayable. And then he has a game like tonight where he just doesn't exist almost. Very similar to Ozil, if you ask me, when it comes to just kind of disappearing. And didn't have a particularly great game. I'd probably give him a 5. And I won't give Welbeck a rating because he didn't really do much. Aubameyang played more minutes and I thought he was poor. Probably give him a 5, maybe a 6. He hit the bar, had a couple of shots saved. But in general, as a whole, I would say it was a 6 out of 10 performance today. Just above average in terms of not conceding and still making chances but just not scoring them. I think that Sporting, although they've obviously been through a very tough summer with what happened, they've lost a lot of great players. They've still managed to retain a lot of players that clearly are good enough to play for Sporting. And although they didn't show tonight what they can do going forward, they certainly showed how good they are defensively. I think Quartes is right up there right now as one of the best performing defenders in the Europa League. He's doing a great job for Sporting. And well played to them defensively because they just shut us out. So 2 things to take from this game tonight. Best wishes to Danny Welbeck, of course. It's a really nasty injury. Hopefully it's not as serious as it looks, but it doesn't look great. And 2, we're through. We're through to the knockout stages. I'm really excited to see who we're going to get. Of course, we've still got to finish the group stage. We've got another game in December. Is there 2 more games? Is that 4 we've played now, or is that 5? I've completely lost count. I'm not going to lie. I've been up for almost 15 hours at this point. I'm exhausted. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you for watching the review, although it wasn't too exciting. If there's a game like this, I tend to just talk about the players themselves and how they performed instead of talking about the game because there was nothing to talk about. So a 0-0 draw on the night. But like I said, we're going through and that's great. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you for career mode tomorrow.